Hello.
Hi. Morning. Well, good evening. I just woke up.
What time is it over there?
It's 10 a.m.
Ooh, that's not too
Mm.
bad actually.
How are you? You look good.
How are you?
Great, thanks. Thanks. Are those like anime posters behind you?
Oh yeah, I'm in my room. You want to see this crazy setup I got? So here's my desk, and there's a lot of figures on that. And then here's my whole wall, which
Oh
is pretty
wow.
cool. It's like posters, and then I have like figures and stuff. And then this one's my coolest one. It's
What's that?
Luffy from One Piece. So he's pretty cool.
Ooh.
He's my most expensive one.
Hey, chat. So thanks for the opportunity to record with you this morning or tonight your time. I just want to let you know that I invited you again. I know I told you this because some people aren't happy that our first recording wasn't on YouTube. So so here we are. So for anyone who wants to listen to it, I will leave a link down below. So chat, I know you had your surgery March 23rd last year, right?
Yeah, I was actually supposed to make an Instagram post on Thursday, but I forgot. So I'm gonna do it. Yeah, it's been a full year now since I got surgery. And then it's been almost 14 months since I've torn it, so it's been a while.
Right. So you've shared on our last episode that yes, you've torn your ACL, but the good thing was your surgeon told you that your meniscus apparently have healed,
Mhm.
and that you've described this whole ordeal
Yeah.
as like a, a giant monster. Um Again, everyone is excited to have you back with the team. A lot of people are looking for you. So understandably, most of the questions are about your recovery. So talk to us about that, where you are now, or at least you know what you can share.
Okay. Well, it's been a year since my surgery. Kind of crazy. I think that time has gone by really quick and really slow at the same time. Um I mean, right now I'm fully playing. I've been training with the college team out by me, so I've been able to get full sessions in. I actually just played in my first full 90 minutes the other day with them. So getting back into it, I'm training basically every day. Olivia's back, so I get a shoot on her all the time. So I'm good to go. Like if I was with the club team, I would basically already be playing back right now. Like Ellie Carpenter, for example, she's been in games, but unfortunately, I got hurt when I would have liked to have joined a club team. So I've just been here, but no, I'm good to go. I'm ready to be back. I'm super excited. I wanted to be back for Spain, but Alan wanted to play a little bit more cautious, which I mean, he's the coach. Whatever he says, he's had to deal with more players coming back from ACLs than I have. So, but I'm super excited to be back with the team, and I will be there for the upcoming tournament, AFF, or no, I always call it AFF, Olympic Qualifiers. So I'm super excited to be back and to just be back with the team. And I think I'm just super excited to play again. Like it's been so long. Like I just can't wait to be on that field and just play again.
Wow, why is that's really good to know that you've been. I mean, you're practically back. You know,
Yeah,
um,
fully back. I've
fully
been
back.
fully back playing for a while now. I'm in a bunch of different leagues out here with like females, girls I like who I know like because a lot of girls play in California. So girls who I used to play with, even some boys who I used to play with. So I've been playing a lot. But yeah, doing the first full 90 minutes last week was definitely it was cool. I definitely got to see where I was at, like game wise, but definitely makes me excited for the upcoming tournament. So I'm good to go. And I even like doing the games too. Like I think one of my biggest concerns was just how I was going to be like mentally going back in. Like if there's a big tackle, like am I going to freeze or am I going to do it? But in the game, like all my instincts just came back. So like I was going into the tackle. So it was almost like I wasn't like I never like was gone for that long. So it felt really good to be back. I feel super good. My knee is great. super strong. So I'm excited to be in the tournament back playing.
Whew, we all are. Yes. But just curious, because Alexia Putellas, for instance, when she was ruled out, they said that she was gonna be gone for like 10 months, but she was back in training after 6 months. What was the timeline given to you by your doctors?
My surgeon and my PT here, because I see my PT, I actually just have been able to start cutting down, but I've been seeing him 4 times a week. So he's basically become my best friend. Like I see him all the time. I probably text him more than I text anyone else, but because he said between 9 to 12 months, and like when I first got surgery, a lot of the time they won't give you like a closer answer because they're like, it kind of depends on a lot of stuff. And like, for instance, I had a lot of pain after surgery and I had a really hard time getting my range of motion back. So that took me a lot longer than it took other people. So like some people get their range of motion back in like 6 weeks. It took me like 3.5 months. Like I could not bend my leg to save my life. I think I finally was able to bend my knee all the way right before I went to the Philippines in July for what tournament was that? That the girls won?
AFF, AFF.
AFF, yeah. So like it took me a long time to get it done, but um even now my PT thought that it was going to be between like 9 to 10 months. He was pretty much okay with me playing fully like in January, but like it was kind of just like you can play but know your body, like know who you're going against. So I was like almost fully cleared by then, and then in February I was fully playing in a bunch of different leagues and I was back with the colleges. So he was like it kind of just depended, like to be honest, the date changed all the time, but I was able to start like training with my dad and like some of the other teams around like think like October. I started October, I think I really started getting more high into gear because I was able to start cutting by then, or like I was doing my introduction to cutting. So it was kind of like once I was able to start doing that, like a lot of the like the like stuff I couldn't do got taken out. So I was like, that's when I started training more and I started doing like more weightlifting and more sprinting and stuff. So I don't know. To be honest, it changed. Some days you'd be like, we're doing great. And other days it'd be like a little setback. But I mean, that's kind of all part of the process. And I mean, I definitely think that the timing worked out. I mean, I definitely think that I'm as strong as I can be right now. So it was between 9 to 12. But I mean, Alan always wanted me to wait the 12 months anyways, just because the longer you wait, the less of a percentage you have of re injuring yourself. So it was between 9 to 12. But I know, like, with some of the girls who are on an actual club team, it's a lot easier for them to get reintegrated faster just because they're like with the team. And I know that some of them have like a second division team too that they can go train with. So I think it's just a little bit of different situations. Those girls are fortunate enough to be on big teams like Alexia Putellas, who's on Barcelona, and even Ellie Carpenter with Lyon. Like those are big team names. So I mean, good for them. Like they'll be back too. But I think it's just we had different paths, because I wasn't in any situation like that. But I definitely had a lot of people around who could help me. So I think it all worked out. 12 months isn't bad. It was kind of it was like the longest. It was like at first I was like, oh, 9 months should be like I want to be back by 9 months. But then it was just like if I'm not back by 9 months, like it's whatever. Like as long as I'm back and I have a few months before the World Cup, like it's all good.
I'm so excited for you. Like even the way you talk now compared to when we first recorded, you
Yeah.
just you there's just some positive vibes and I can feel it here from where you are. So routine wise, like what did you do to keep yourself busy to, avoid thinking about it? Did you develop any sort of new interests or hobbies?
There was actually no time to develop new hobbies. I even like I haven't watched anime in months. Like I've just been doing soccer and rehab. So like right now, this is my schedule. This is what I do weekly. This is crazy. So Monday morning, well, usually Olivia and I are basically on the same schedule. So like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we have a 6 a.m. workout. And 2 of the days it's like body lifting, and the other 2 days it's like fitness, basically like to get our speed up. So it's like a speed treadmill. And so basically we're just doing sprints for like two of the days. But sorry, I have the hiccups. And then Monday, Wednesday, we have practice with one of the colleges out here. And then usually after that we go and train with my dad. And then Olivia will do like keeper training and stuff too. And then I see my PT 3 times a week. And then I have a different club training Tuesday, Thursday, and then I'll do private training with my dad. So basically, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, like I have 2 to 3 things like throughout the whole day. And then also like Thursdays and Saturdays, we joined a different league where it's like 7v7 stuff. So it's like small sided fields. So it's just like we're doing stuff like every day. And unfortunately, it's all far. I mean, relatively far. It's like an hour away. So it's like you're driving there and back. So like all day, Olivia and I are just in the car driving from one thing to another. So it's just like we've been so busy like preparing and stuff that I really haven't like had time to find a new hobby. I've just been doing PT and soccer and getting ready for the World Cup. But I mean, that's fine. That's what I want to do. So no new hobbies. I actually lost some.
Yeah, I asked because I was, for someone who's not an athlete, I would think that being on rehab would, give you more downtime, but it seems like you're busier.
Well, before like the first 6 months or until like July, like the beginning of August, I started One Piece. That's a big journey. That's over 1,000 episodes, and like because I couldn't do much when I was laid up, like the first half of last year, like I just watched it nonstop. Like so like that's what I was doing because like I couldn't really do anything else for a while. But like I got to like episode like the almost six like around 600, and one of my favorite characters died, and I was just like, I can't do this, and I still haven't gotten over it. And it's been like almost a year, and I haven't watched since. So my brother's like, you have to watch, and it's Declan, so he's like 10 because the movie just came out, and he's like, we can't go watch it, and I was like, sorry, dude. So I did start a hobby, but I dropped it. But I'm gonna pick it back up.
Yeah, but right when it's time to watch the movie, I guess with Declan. Um,
Yeah.
so they said that when you do rehab every day, you build so much more muscles because you're in the gym every day. So after months of rehab, do you feel different in your own body? Like, do you feel stronger or faster?
Oh yeah, dude. I'm super buff right now. Like I weigh the same as I did when I was in India, but like it's all muscle now. Like if you look at my legs right now, like they're insane. Like my quads look great. Like cuz all I do is quad stuff. And then I work out so often. So I definitely do feel stronger. Like when I've been playing in the games, I think I'm able to push them off a little bit more. But to be fair, I know all the people in the Philippines think I'm gigantic. So when I'm playing against the little Asian teams, I usually can push them off. But playing against some of the bigger teams should help. But I'm definitely faster too. Well, I'm getting faster. I just hit 17.4 miles per hour on the treadmill. I don't know how that translates to what you guys use, but that's pretty fast. So I definitely feel I'll have to send you a picture of my quads so you can put it on the thing. But I'm super buff right now. Like I have to do a body scan all the time, and I think my body fat is at like 17% or something. So I'm ripped. So I definitely doing PT will get you some nice legs. So there is that.
Cool, cool, cool. Because I read that and I was like, okay, let me ask Chandler about that if that's true. Um, is there anything in your a training now that you've focused on, or do you do anything differently from what you used to because of the injury?
Um, I mean, like, I think it's just, like, subconsciously trying to remember to, like, not let my knee cave in, like, trying to always keep it, like, if this is my knee, like, to keep it out, because if it caves in, like, that's dangerous. So it's just, like, with stuff like jumping or if I'm cutting, stuff like that, but to be honest, with my PT, I've been working on some of that stuff, like making sure it stays out so often that when I'm training or doing like stuff on the field, like I don't really think about it. But I think he's been able to train my body to just to like align itself better. So I think with my PT, because I've worked with him a lot and I love him, love the guy. I think he's done a good job at basically like retraining my body because like I wasn't the best jumper, like, my knees weren't always the best, so I think he's done a good job at basically retraining my whole body just to be a little bit more coordinated and to do all the motions correctly so that I have a less chance of getting hurt in the future, which is one of the reasons why I went to this PT because they said that they work with professional athletes, like a lot of NFL players, just a lot of different athletes. So, like, they said that they can retrain my body to do that stuff because I was like, I don't want to do this again. Like, that would suck. And then he's also just working on like fixing other problems I have because, like, I don't want to pull any muscles. So, just to be overall stronger and just to have a good frame to work with. So, I think that subconsciously my body is just fixed is doing it, but I'm not really thinking about it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Gotcha. So the last time we had a chat, we talked about, all of it being in the right time. And I recently read an article on Ellie Carpenter, and she said that she believes her ACL injury may have been like a blessing in disguise, and that she needed that reset. Looking back, what are your thoughts about having to go through that ordeal versus where you are now physically or mentally?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. I think that if you would have asked me a year ago when I was sitting on that field and I basically knew that I tore my knee that I'd be happy about this, I think I would have told you that you were crazy, but I definitely do think sitting from where I am right now that I'm not going to say it's a blessing, but I definitely think it helped to make me who I am today. I think I'm a better athlete and I'm a better person just physically and mentally because of it. I think it's been a very long journey, but I think that I've learned a lot about myself. And I think that as an athlete, I've come much farther than I have before. So I definitely think that it was all part of God's plan. And I definitely think that it was beneficial in the end because I definitely think I'm going to be better than I was when I was in India. I think I'm stronger. I think I'm faster. I've been able to work on some stuff that I wasn't happy with at the last tournament. And I think honestly, just mentally, it has made me so much stronger. Like, I think it just shows that when you go through something like that, especially at a time when we were coming off such a high, like, we had just qualified for the World Cup, like, for the country, that's a big deal. But, like, even for me, like, every girl on that team, like, it's everyone's dream, like when you're little, you want to go play there in the World Cup, and we actually did it. So it was such a high to then hit such a low because, like, I pretty much knew right then and there that, like, I tore my knee, and it's just like, how am I going to be back? But luckily, I did tear it at a better time because now I have all this extra time compared to some of the other girls who are a little bit closer and they're pushing it for the 9 to 12 months. But I definitely think it has shown mentally that I can go through all these things and still come out a stronger person. And at the end of the day, like, I think you still have to remember that it could have been so much worse. Like, I'm still back, I'm able to play, but I do think that it was for the best. I think that it was the tougher road, but if that's the plan that God had for me, he wanted me to face this obstacle, then I think that it's all for the best. And I think that I come out much stronger. And I think that it'll be a good story.
It is for sure. again, I keep saying this. I'm excited to have you back. Um, so as you know, Cha, there are many female football players that are out now due to ACL injury, and it's said that
Yeah,
right.
basically on the lookout to see who did it each month. That's what it's been like. I feel like since I tore it, it's like every month there's been at least one person from a national team who's torn their knee. Sucks.
Right, right. And I just want to quickly share with you or to those who are listening or watching, and you probably did some reading yourself. That apparently, there are some studies about like how on your second week of your menstrual cycle it has an effect on the stability of your joints, but there's nothing really solid whether it does increase the
Yeah.
risk for injury. But it's definitely something that say the Arsenal women's fish show, and I think the one at Chelsea's also agrees for one. There's also a study on like how the women's feet differs from a men's in shape, so there's a risk from injury from ill-fitting boots, and that's why there's all this um advocacy for women's specific boots. There's also some anecdotes about like how female footballers often say, that they're nervous if they get their period and they have a game because they might be injured, particularly if they've been injured before. So, having been through an ACL injury, what are your thoughts on these? Let's just say anecdotes about, players like Mead and Miedema and even Weigman, advocating for more research as to why it's happening to many football players.
Yeah, I have seen Mead especially talk about like advocating for more research and stuff. Um Personally, like I think that it is good that like we do need people to look into it to figure out why it's happening, but to be honest, there's also just a part of me that's like, I mean, injuries part of the sport. Unfortunately, ACLs are just, especially for women's soccer, it's just something that I think is always going to be the major injury for us. I definitely think that there probably are some reasons that it happens, but um I don't know. I mean, I think it just happens so often. I mean, like every sport has a major injury, you know? So, I mean, I think that it'd be cool if they went and did all that research, but I think maybe if they did some stuff into like trying to prevent it, but I feel like they've already tried it. And I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just biased. I've already done it, but I just feel like if it's gonna happen, I just feel like most of the time it just happens. I feel like for women soccer players, it's kind of just the way we cut and stuff, but I'm not a doctor, so maybe there are some crazy reasons why it does happen. But one thing I will say about that is I think that they should do stuff to help girls coming back from ACLs. Like, for instance, like we're not allowed to wear like our knee braces. Like if you get, those big ones, most girls don't even order them anymore, but like FIFA's like, it'll hurt the other players. And I'm just like, but what about me? Like, I just spent a whole ass year trying to like come back and get back from this, but like, you guys are more worried that the plastic's gonna like hurt someone else. So, like, that kind of makes me upset. But like, I get it. Like, it could be considered dangerous. But at the same time, like, you have so many women soccer players who are coming back from this, and the re-tear rate is really high. Either they re-tear the same knee or they do the other knee. So I just feel like, I don't know, either there needs to be some better PTs or like need to figure something out. Cause like, I think that's what upsets me more is that the re-tear rate is so high because these girls do all this stuff to get back into it and then they just tear it again. Like, I don't think that you should tear it again. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. So I think that if I were to advocate for something, it'd be more about that. Cause I mean, the first time, like when I first did it, like personally, I don't think there was any reason that it happened. Like, it was all me. Like I jumped, landed wrong. Like, sure, maybe I was tired and it was our fourth game, but at the end of the day, like I just it was my body mechanics that were wrong, like my knee went in, no one pushed me, so like it was all on me. But like to re-tear it, like you had all these people, like you had a surgeon, you had PTs, you had all this stuff. So like I'd be more upset to re-tear it. That's just my opinion though.
Yeah, totally understandable. And you know what's interesting is that when I was reading all these articles, a lot of it said how the problem with it is you have to do it retrospectively. Like someone needs to be injured before they can even, start
Yeah.
some sort of research. So that's the thing. But
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
exactly.
I definitely get your point. And there are some, I think, forgot her name. There's a player from Manchester United and City, just re-tear like after months of rehab, after 2 months of playing, they re-tear it. So
That is
that's
that's devastating. Like
oh
that's who
yeah.
I feel bad. But it happens so often. It's just part of it. Like it's just the statistics. I'm just like, well, I don't want that to be me. So like, and I mean, there are also a lot of girls who tear it once and come back stronger than ever. Like it never happened. So I mean, I don't know if it's just like something that happens. I don't know if it's just how some women's bodies are made. Like for instance, I have a friend who I went to high school with, and she has two brothers, and between the three of them, they've torn their ACL 10 times. So like I know that they like the doctor said that it's just their like the way that their knees are, like their genetics. So I mean, I think it differs for everyone, but I think like I don't know. I think it just happens so often that like most days people are just like, "Oh, it's just another ACL," you know?
Right, right. So, Cha, you definitely missed many different campaigns and friendlies in the past year, and
Yeah,
after
that's like
watching,
30 games. I was
but
like,
after
"Dang." Olivia's like, "I have 30 caps." I was like, "Congrats."
after watching the games, do you think there's a space for you in Coach Allen's current system? And if so, which role do you think you can play, or how can you help the team upon your return?
Yeah, I definitely missed a lot of games. I think it's weird because like there's a there's a good amount of girls who I haven't played with yet, like Jackie or Sarah. I mean, I got to meet them because Coach Allen actually let me go to the Irvine camp, so I was able to be a part of the team just for that. So that was really cool of them to let me integrate back with the team a little. But and then there's some girls who I went to India with who aren't there. So it's just like kind of a different mix. And I mean, that's to be expected. I've been gone for a while. But it's definitely interesting to see where the team is at. And I think it's definitely different having to watch the team like on TV for the past 14 months because I think it's different when you're watching a game versus when you're watching film of a game you're in. Because, like, if I were to watch film of a game I'm in, it's like, well, I already know what's going to happen. Like, I did that, but like watching the team, it's interesting because you see it kind of from a different perspective. So I definitely think that the team's doing well. And I'm glad to see that they're winning and stuff. I'm working really hard to come back. Obviously, I've been gone for a while, so there are girls in the spot that I was in before, and I know they're working hard too. But I'm working really hard. I've been training every day. I think I'm doing a lot to show Alan that I still want the spot back. I of course want to go back to the number 9, the forward. I want to go back and score goals. But at the end of the day, if it's up to Alan, I think that I've given myself the best chance to come back and fight for a spot. I mean, I've been training, I've been doing my running, I've been lifting. I think I'm stronger, faster than I was when I was in India. So I think that I definitely am at a good spot to go back and compete for one of the spots. Um, Obviously, those girls have been there, so it's not going to be easy. But I definitely think I have enough confidence in myself that I can get on the field and show them what I can do. So I think it'll be good. And I think that I want to go back to the forward because I want to score the goals. I don't want to do anything else. So I think that I will be in a good spot to compete for a number 9.
Gotcha. So, so what's your absolute motivation in the last 14 months? What kept you going?
Definitely the World Cup. I mean, personally, I feel like I did a lot for the two tournaments, the India tournament and the Uzbekistan tournament, to help get us to the World Cup. I think that I was a vital part of the team And I think that I helped in securing that spot. And like I said earlier, I mean, it's every kid's dream if you play soccer to go to the World Cup. So in my mind, I didn't do all that work and all this do all this stuff for the past 24 years to just give up and not go. So for the past 14 months, it's just been like I have to work, but at the same time, I have to work even harder than all the girls on the team right now because they just have to do soccer, but I have to get my knee back and I have to learn how to run again and I have to learn how to kick a ball again. So not only am I at a disadvantage, I'm at 10 steps behind everyone else having to relearn all this stuff. So it was just a lot of motivation, I think, just to be on that field for World Cup. I mean, it's a dream of mine. I've done all this work. There's no way in hell I'm just going to give it up. So, like, it was just that. It was just, we've worked this hard. I'm not giving up and I'm going to be at the World Cup. That's basically what I had to tell myself every day. Like, I will be there. And of course, I had my PT, my strength and conditioning coach out here, my dad, Finn, Olivia, my mom, Declan. I mean, there has been so many people to help keep me on that track because, I mean, going through an ACL surgery, there's definitely ups and downs, and there's less downs towards the end of it, but there's still some downs, and there's still days when I'm just like, is this worth it? Or I'm not going to be ready. And there's just a lot of days of doubt. But I think having all these people around me to be like, you got it, like, you can do this. I think Olivia has been one of my biggest motivators. I mean, she's over here telling me all the time that, like, we have to go together, and she would never forgive me if I didn't go. So I think that just having all those people around me to help remind me of my goal definitely helped the past 14 months. But like I said, just telling myself every day that I'm going to be on the World Cup field, and it worked. I'm here. I feel confident now. So it all worked out. I mean, I still have to get to the World Cup, but one milestone at a time.
For sure, for sure. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Like, to be honest, like, most of the questions that I had really was well, most of the questions that were submitted was about your recovery, but like initially,
There's nothing else going on with me, so there's nothing else to ask.
yeah, but like, I was always like curious, like how you were dealing with it. I mean, I just, I can't imagine how, challenging and difficult it must be for you to relearn everything and get back to the level that you were in before. So
Yeah,
great
I'm
job.
definitely not a person who likes to share my difficulties, like, when I'm going through them. Like, talking
Mm,
about it now is not a big deal, but, like, especially when I'm going through them, I don't really like to see like, people to see me at, like, a vulnerable state like that because I like to
mm,
come off as, like, strong and, like, put together. So it was definitely difficult, but I think that that was one of the things I had to learn, that, like, it's okay to be mentally down, but you just can't stay there. Like, and I have a mental coach that I talk to out here, and he helped me a lot. I think just, like, knowing that it was okay to fail. And, like, if I didn't hit the milestone, like, it's not that big a deal because that milestone isn't really a milestone. Like, everyone completes their ACL process differently. Like, just because someone's able to get their range of motion back in 6 weeks doesn't mean that they're going to get back on the field sooner. I mean, they could, but at the end of the day, it's still going to be at least 9 to 12 months before they're fully able to play in a full game. So I think just learning that it was okay for some stuff to take time and just and that I think the hardest part was just figuring out that it was okay to be upset about it. Like, it's okay to be upset. I think what my mom told me once, and I like during like the first 3 months, I was super depressed. Like, I was having a super hard time. And I think I remember her telling me, like, this is like, you have to go through like the 9 stages of grief. Like, you've lost something. And so, like, there's all these articles and stuff about people like going through what they went through with their ACL. And I honestly think it's really hard because, like, for instance, Riley Bouguet, she would tell me about her knee. because I've had other surgeries, but I think it's definitely different until you've actually had to go through one. So even me, like when I was going through the process, like talking to Riley helped a little, but the person who I talked to the most was this girl named Ashley, and she tried out for the Uzbekistan camp, and she was going to go to Uzbekistan, but she ended up tearing her knee during that camp. So I talked to her because she got surgery. She ended up getting surgery like a month before I did. So I was able to talk to her, and it just helped me talking to her because she was literally going through the same stuff. So I think like for me, it was really hard to talk to people about it because like in my mind, it was like, they don't know what I'm going through. Like, how could you know what I'm going through? But talking to her really helped just because like I just felt like she literally knew what I was going through because she was doing the same thing. So like having her like helped me a lot. But eventually I was able to like, once I started to actually feel like I was moving forward, like it got a lot easier. But I mean, I think that even with any injury or just throughout sports, I think it's easy to have off days and get down, but I think you just have to learn to get past it. Like you can be upset about it for a little, like a day, but then like eventually you have to move on. Cause I think also what I've learned throughout this is that like you truly do have to stay positive. Like if you stay negative and you stay like depressed, like it really does affect your whole body. So like my dad has been really trying to get me to like have more positive thoughts and like you have to do like daily affirmations because I was never into that kind of stuff. Like that just wasn't my thing. Like mental coaches, like I don't really like that kind of stuff, but like I think I've learned that like it truly does help. So I think like it's just been a journey, this whole thing. I've definitely learned to take things on differently. And I didn't think I'd be doing that at 25 years old, but I guess you learn something new every day.
You do, and thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. It's very generous of you. So, um, let's go to the fun part. Fun part, social media questions. We're done talking about the ACL. So, RD Rivera Bedro wants to know, seeing that lots of the girls are now with clubs and are playing week in and week out, if offers come, would you be game to play in a club setup? And if so, do you have a preferred league or country or continent to play in?
Yeah, a lot of the girls are definitely going out and playing now. I know that that was one of the things that Alan had said that he wanted even back in India. So I'm not shocked that a lot of girls are out playing anywhere. I think the opportunity just to keep playing anywhere is one that you would take a hold of. I had thought about, I think about this question. A lot of people ask me if I'm looking to join a club. Um, I definitely, after India, was 100% ready to go look for a club, but then I tore my knee. And even like now, like people are like, well, are you going to join a club before the World Cup? And I'm just like, I don't know how beneficial it would be for me at this moment because I mean, a lot of club teams, I mean, I wouldn't want to take someone freshly off an ACL. Like, it's kind of a risk. And I'm still a PT and stuff, and it's so close to the World Cup that it's kind of just like, I'm just going to keep, like, I have enough resources here to be caught up with everyone. So I'm not looking for one at this moment, but I'm definitely interested in playing in a competitive league after the World Cup, kind of just wait, kind of like one thing at a time. Like, let me get to the World Cup first, and then we'll figure out, we'll figure everything out after. But no, I definitely am interested in playing. I want to continue playing. I don't think I really have a preferred league, to be honest. I think it's just wherever I can go and be competitive at, I'm open to going. I know that there's girls everywhere now. Like Reina's in Brazil, which is super cool, and I know there's girls in Australia, and there are some girls in Sweden, but Sweden looks kind of cold. I don't really like the cold, so that one. I mean, I'd be open to it, but I'd have to have a lot of layers. But I mean, I'm pretty much open to go anywhere. But I definitely am very interested in playing after World Cup.
Yeah, gotcha. It makes sense. I have a just a quick question just to add up to RD's question. Is it true that you and Olivia are a package deal, or or you will you be
Uh,
willing to play in separate leagues or clubs?
um, I mean, Olivia and I do everything together. I think we would love to go play on a team together if the opportunity arose, but I mean, it's a little harder for a keeper to get on a club anyways. So I definitely think that we would prefer to play on the same club. And I mean, I have a feeling that we're gonna have the same agent, and we'll definitely put that feeler out there. But I think that the chances of it happening are kind of, I don't know, because like there are so many leagues, so I feel like we could probably, if we looked hard enough, find one to take us both. But I think we would prefer to stay together for sure. We've been joined at the hip for so long now. I can't really see us not being together. This actually past 14 months is the longest like span of times that we've been not together. Like when she's been with the team, like so the past year was like the least amount we've seen each other in forever. I would definitely love to keep playing with Olivia. I think she's the best goalkeeper I've ever played with, and if she wasn't, I'd say that because I'm her harshest critic. So, but yeah, I think we would love to go play together somewhere.
Gotcha. Okay, so from Rai Huradas. Hello, Miss Chandler. The first time I saw you playing for the country is against Thailand, and I know you can help the team more on offense. My question is, how's your condition now, and when will you return? So we've basically answered this question the entire time, right? From Mirna Gabilan for Chandler, first and foremost, I thank God that you have recovered. My question is, when you meet your teammates again, what do you look forward to the most?
Oh, that's a good question. It has been a long time since I've seen some of them. Because even though I saw some of them in August, that was still a long time ago. I think I'm just excited to be back with the team. I think it's a little nerve wracking to go into something like that just because I've been gone for over a year. So it's like you wonder if like anything has changed, like if the dynamic or anything is different. Like I don't know if there's been different rules. They've now gone through so many more things that I haven't been a part of, but the girls are all super great. I know that they'll all be I'm assuming they'll all be very nice and they're going to be excited to have me back and to see what I can bring to the team. But I mean, situations like that, I mean, I think it's always nice to have Olivia with me because I mean, at the end of the day, she's the one who I hang out with the most, but I definitely am most excited just to be back on the field with them. I think that's the most exciting thing. It'll be nice to see them and hang out with them and to talk to them and see how they've all been doing, but I think the thing I want to do most is just get back on the field and play with them because they've been able to play for so long, and I just want to show them that I'm ready to play again. Like I've been gone, but I've been working hard. Like I want to help the team out. So I think just seeing them being able to be back on that field with them is all I could really ask for.
Thank you. And the rest of the questions are very similar, and you've already answered chat from Eric and David. Most of it is a part of your recovery, and the rest are just really encouraging messages from Coach Luke and Rain Reyes.
Can always count on Luke.
Yeah, they both wish you'd come back to the field soon and when you're ready, and that they're excited to watch you again. So,
I know. I've been getting a lot of messages about if I'm going to be back, but
let's see.
they'll find out soon. I'm
So,
very excited to be back. I can't wait. It's been a long time coming. Now I just have to do good.
yep. All right. So I didn't have this when we recorded. So I did add a rapid fire section to the
Oh,
pod.
okay.
So I don't want you to think, so just answer the first thing that comes to mind or give an answer or choose an answer as quickly as you can. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. One thing that you have to have with you when you travel with the team.
My Kindle.
Okay. Something you've always wanted to try but are afraid to do.
Like an activity?
Anything.
I want to go skydiving. No, I want to
Okay.
swim with sharks. I want to swim with sharks.
Okay. Panenka, panenka or top corner.
Oh, top corner.
Okay. Tiki taka or counter attacking football.
Counterattacking.
Bicycle kick or tap in?
I mean, I can't do a bike, so just tap it.
Scoring scoring yourself or assisting a goal?
Scoring all day.
Scoring from 1v1 or a free kick from outside the box?
Free kick.
Scoring a volley or a header?
Volley.
Better movement or positioning?
Movement.
Coming on the bench to make an impact to get the win, or be in the starting lineup in a game where you either lose or draw?
Oof. Last time I came off the bench, I hurt myself, so I'm gonna go with starting.
Okay, I'm not gonna ask you about coffee because I know you don't drink coffee. So just your message to the Filipino football community, chat.
Uh, I think I just want to say thanks to everyone. Even though I've been away from the team for over a year, you guys have been so supportive and you guys always check on me and you guys still make me feel like I'm part of the team, which has definitely helped me when I've been a little down in the dumps. So I think just thank you. And I hope that you guys will all be excited that I'll be back at the next tournament. And I hope that you guys can all watch. And I hope that I make everyone proud because I'm super excited.
Thank you, Cha. I appreciate your time tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
No worries. I'm glad I'm the first second guest in 2 appearances.
Yeah. All right, Cha. You have a good night now. Thank you.
You have a good rest of your day.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.